Hey friends, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Welcome back to another week of Vlogtober, which kicked off on Sunday morning with a quick Grubhub order from Dunkin' Donuts. So I do love a good Starbucks PSL, but my favorite will always be Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know if it's because I'm from the Northeast and Dunkin' has a chokehold on the region, but I am a Dunkin' fan. So I started off my Sunday with a delicious PSL and a breakfast sandwich and crocheting on some of my alt knots blanket while watching Emma Thorne. Emma Thorne is a great channel. If you don't follow her, she has some really fun stuff to watch. So I highly recommend it in case you're interested. I also worked on my Worst Witch scarf a little bit once I finished up I can't remember if I had finished one of the crocheted things and still needed to make the ghost or one or the other, but I finished them relatively quickly, so I was able to work on my Worst Witch scarf in the morning, which is always a lot of fun and is turning out gorgeously. Today's Beetlejuice countdown from the Little Wolf Knits was called Like Stereo Instructions, and just wait until you see it. It was really pretty. Again, not something, well, I don't know, maybe it is kind of in my usual fare, maybe a little bit more muted or natural, but I really enjoyed opening this colorway today. Today's Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers was a really fun opener. As well as you can see, it was this gorgeous kind of silvery gray color that looked amazing once I got it worked up. So I've really been enjoying this, partially because of the crochet along. It gives me something fun to look forward to at the end of every day. So I don't typically unbox just regular yarn that I get in the mail, but this is Vlogtober, and so we be vlogging, and I also just really liked this packaging. So these are my Freckled Whimsy Halloween and Christmassy yarn clubs. I can't remember, I think this is the next to last yarn in the Christmassy yarn club, and the Halloween yarn club is going to extend for another 6 months. So I'm just gonna let the Christmas yarn club expire so I can save some money for the new house, but I'm gonna keep doing the Halloween one just because there has not been a single colorway in that one that hasn't made me ecstatic. So let's dive into this bag and see what the colorways are for this month's clubs. Oh boy, here we go. They are both lovely. If this is indeed the penultimate Christmas yarn, then it is a way to go out. Absolutely beautiful. And then this is the Halloween set. At least, yeah, we're right, because look at the label, it's got a witch hat on it. So this is the Halloween club set, and that is really cool looking. It looks like this one's called Spooky Town, so that's really cool. And then this one is called Yumi and the Christmas Tree. So how gorgeous are these? I love Freckled Whimsy yarn. I love Freckled Whimsy yarn, and I love self-striping, and for a long time I was in the Cozy Knitter subscription, and I just wasn't knitting socks as much as I needed to keep up with that. So now I took a break and I'm into the Freckled Whimsy subscription, and I am knitting self-striping socks like there is no tomorrow. So these are gorgeous, and I might have to knit up the Christmas ones as soon as possible so I have something to wear. Not that I don't have any socks to wear over the holidays, because that would be silly given my output, but this is really cute. I really enjoy it. So there's a sneak peek into the clubs for this month. If you are curious, again, the Christmas yarn club is ending, but the Halloween one is extending for another 6 months. So if you are in the spooky spirit and you are curious about looking into that subscription, then make sure to head on over to the Freckled Whimsy website and check it out. Speaking of Freckled Whimsy's Halloween sock set monthly subscription, if you are a Bakery Bears patron, then make sure to check out my monthly review. I recorded it today and it's going to be awesome, so stay tuned for when that gets posted. Of course, it's not Vlogtober without a daily tarot draw, and today's card is the High Priestess, which is one of my favorites actually. So the High Priestess tarot card symbolizes intuition, wisdom, and inner knowledge. She invites you, or us, I guess, to trust our instincts and explore the deeper mysteries within ourselves. So in daily life, what that could mean is that we're being encouraged for quiet reflection and mindfulness. We should listen to our inner voices before making decisions. I know I am guilty at jumping the gun when it comes to making decisions instead of trusting my gut, which is, you know, not always a positive thing. But by applying the energy of the High Priestess, we can cultivate our patience, avoid rushing into choices, and seek balance between logic and intuition. So not only does this help us stay grounded, but it helps us navigate complex situations with a sense of calm and inner clarity. With that, it was time to go and do that which I had been avoiding all day, which is going over the new house and cleaning and organizing and unpacking all of the boxes for my storage unit, which did not happen, but it will someday. So long story short, there is no way that this fireplace is going to be put back together before our Halloween party. So if you recall from my last video, this fireplace was in the basement in a random area. I'm not sure what the plan was for it, but it seemed more appropriate for our living room. So when we had the movers bring all of the stuff over from my storage unit, we had them bring the fireplace up here, and this is where it lives. This is where it's going to live. It's just not installed yet. And someday we'll get the rug put down too. Then there's a mirror over there that's going to go on top of it. But in the meantime, I bought the candelabra and the candles that are going to go in there. I think eventually, like, there's a plug there. Maybe we'll just get like the fake logs that you plug in. But for now, I really wanted the candelabra. So I'm gonna go ahead and set that up and see if it fits and what it looks like. All right, this is good. This is good, it fits. I had purchased originally a much larger one, and I'm pretty sure it would have been too big for the way this is finally going to sit. This seems to look good though. So let's go find whatever package the candles are in and get those in here too. We are good. I am not turning these bad boys on, and because that requires putting batteries in all of them, and I just don't have it in me right now. And since we won't light them up until our Halloween party, I usually spend like at least an hour going around putting batteries in all of the things. So I just don't feel like it. But you know, it took me a long time just to get these things out of the box because they were individually wrapped in hard cellophane. That it was a struggle, but we're here and they're lit. And you know what? The fact that the fireplace is in pieces might even lend itself well to the Halloween vibe. So here we are in the library. The last time Scott's parents were here helping us, his mom asked me if I wanted this pumpkin. I think she said she painted it or someone in their family painted it. She showed me a picture and I was like, well, absolutely. We love decorating for Halloween. Don't know if you could tell. So I decided to put it up here in the library. I didn't think it would fit up here, but it does. And I also got these light up fall letters off Amazon. They are super cheap plastic, but that's fine. But now that I have the pumpkin up here, it is very, very, very orange. It is a very orange display. So I think we have these teal chairs. I think I'm going, well, I did order some teal/blue pumpkins to accent this with, and then I also have like some cream color and black pumpkins, and I think I'm just gonna accent that with these, and just so it's not as obnoxious. So here we are entering what will soon be my office. This is one of the rooms that we painted a while back with the help of some of our friends. Scott just hung up the curtains, and my desk is an L shape. It's gonna go here, and then my chair is pink, and then that lamp is gonna go on my desk. So I think the color scheme is pretty much there. But what I wanted to do today was I brought some stuff over from my office to put on these shelves and just, you know, start emptying that room and getting this one ready. The shelves are still super dirty, so I brought some wipes to wipe them down and put some of my work stuff, well, more of my work stuff on them. So let's see how that goes. All right, there we have it so far. I don't know if this is the shelf everything is going to stay on, but this is where this is what I'm assuming you'll be able to see behind my head when I'm sitting at my desk. So this is where I've put everything for now. We'll see if it stays at all like this. But hey, at least that one shelf is clean. Dear Lord, was it dirty. I feel like you can always tell when a single dude has lived somewhere because everything is just filthy. No offense. So now we are in the master bedroom that we just finished painting, and it was this hideous shade of like forest green, but it wasn't like a rich forest green. It was like a forest that had lost its will to live forest green. And this guy, like, we knew that it was a bad paint job when we painted over it, but like as I'm pulling the tape off, look just how sloppy he was the last time he painted. I'm not convinced that they taped anything down. Like, so we're gonna have to go around, you know, someday when I have energy again, and never, but we're gonna have to go around and paint over all of this mess because we did tape it off, and now we're removing the tape and finding everywhere that he had this sloppy disaster. Like, honestly, what did you think was going to happen? And how could you live with knowing that your paint job looked like this? I mean, I guess now it's our problem. You sold us your house. Like, I mean, and this is the only room that's really like this. I think the guy before us kept everything the same from the guy before him. So this is the only room that has this awful paint job, and it is going to, I don't know, I feel like I'm on the verge of screaming right now, so I'm just gonna go. Well, I guess I'll show you this while I'm down here looking for our step stool, wherever that may be. So our couch is still in disarray, but Scott has put the bar together. We're thinking about putting, like, I don't know if those black cabinets are staying there. He might just be playing around, but he was talking about putting in a big mirror in the back and a shelving unit so that we can store like some of our nicer liquors and stuff. This bar is actually a loaner from one of my friends. She and her husband didn't really have a place to store it, so she gave it to me ages ago. So we're keeping it in good shape. It's now out of the storage unit, and it weighs 4,000 pounds, it turns out. So that's that. So yeah, just making changes left and right, and I am playing hide and seek with the step stool so I can do some decorating. Wish me luck. While I did find the step stool, I couldn't hang the decorations I wanted to decorate. So at that point, I gave up. I came home, I cuddled with Dexter, and I made my daily granny square and cup of spirits. So all in all, not a shabby way to end the weekend. Raise your hand if you like Mondays. No, nobody? Bueller? Silence? Yeah, I'm right there with you. But this week, unlike last week, I got to start off my week by opening yarn. So what could really go wrong? Today's colorway in the Beetlejuice countdown from Little Wolf Knits was Handbook for the Recently Deceased. So iconic. It seems only appropriate that this was a colorway in a Beetlejuice countdown. If you know, you know. And I could not have been more thrilled to see it pop up when I went to go open my minis today. Next up, we have the Whimsy Goth Halloween countdown from Fangirl Fibers, and today's color might be one of my most favorite colors yet. It was this lovely, I don't know, I'm just gonna call it wine. I've been told I don't know what wine looks like apparently, but it's kind of on the purpley burgundy side, so it's still red but has those hints of purple that I really like. My tarot card drawing for the day is a card that is probably going to get me some flack. So it is the Devil. People see this card and they flip out. So it's not necessarily a good card, but it doesn't mean like, you know, Satan's going to come barreling out of the ground and pull you under. Essentially what it represents are themes of temptation, materialism, and being trapped by negative habits or thought patterns. And I think that's something we can all identify with in some way or another. So if you want to think of it this way, it often appears when we feel stuck or controlled by external forces like unhealthy relationships, addictions, or self-limiting beliefs. I know I always get stuck by self-limiting beliefs. I definitely have imposter syndrome. However, the card isn't entirely negative. It is instead a call to recognize these chains and realize they're often self-imposed. So in everyday life, the Devil invites you to examine where you're giving away your power. So are you caught in cycles of fear, dependency, or overindulgence? So once you acknowledge what's holding you back, and I think we should all be examining that, you can start reclaiming control and making conscious choices to break free. It's a reminder that you're not as trapped as you think. So at the end of the day, I actually think this is a positive card, and we should re-examine how we feel about it and its connotations. I am thrilled to announce that my mojo is back on my Freckled Whimsy Sockoween socks that I've been working on. I think I mentioned before, the days are blurring together, that it just seemed to be taking forever for whatever reason, like making this cuff. But now that I'm into the actual part of the sock, it is starting to fly by again, and I am in my happy place. So it's been feeling really nice to have a pair of socks that I'm working on between other projects or just during downtime, and finally, I don't know, getting somewhere with them. With whatever is going on with my allergies, and I know so many of you can relate just from other videos that I'm watching, I have been trying to end my evenings with a cup of tea. It's just really nice and soothing on my throat. Sometimes I've been adding a little bit of honey, but really experimenting with different flavors and overall not even caring about those flavors because I just want something warm on my throat to calm it down. Like, the dryness is just making it feel like it's on fire. But regardless, I did finish my applique and my granny square for the day on my alt knits crochet along, and nothing has been exciting me more right now. Welcome to Tuesday, which honestly just feels like a glorified Monday at this point. I did kick off the day by watching the new season of Love is Blind, trying to catch up. I didn't realize that they had launched a new season. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was out. So I spent a good portion of my morning knitting on my Halloween socks and just trying to catch up and do my best. I feel like this season, and let me know if you agree, I feel like this season is another season of people with punchable faces. Like, there are very few people who I actually enjoy, and for the most part, I think they just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, there's not really one couple that I particularly like. I mean, I think some of them might have grown on me at the end, like as I got used to them. But in general, a lot of these conversations I found to be grating and obnoxious, and I love it. I love to hate watch people. And so this show is just fantastic, and I cannot wait to gossip about it with other people. I know a few folks in my knitting group are also watching it, so we've been talking about it in our Discord and just kind of enjoying that. The last time a season came out, we tried to do a teleparty for the live finale where they reunioned everybody, and it didn't quite work out, but it's really fun, and I'm hoping we can do it again this season. Today's tarot draw is another one that I think gives people pause. It is the Hanged Man. So again, it's not necessarily a negative thing. So in fact, this card represents a period of suspension, surrender, maybe a shift in perspective, and often appears when you're at a crossroads. It urges you to pause and reflect rather than push forward, which actually kind of goes hand in hand with yesterday's card, which was the Devil in some ways. This card encourages letting go of control and seeing things from a new angle, which can lead to deeper insights or unexpected solutions. It's about patience, sacrifice, and trusting the process. Now, if you want to apply that to your everyday life, and again, that's part of the tarot practice, that's how I practice tarot anyway, the Hangman suggests taking a step back when you're stuck or frustrated. And I definitely feel that way right now. This is probably one of the worst work weeks. I've had a few here. This is one of the worst work weeks that I've had since I started here a year and a half ago. But instead of trying to force an outcome, try shifting your mindset or approach. So if you're trying to force an outcome, you're probably just going to hit a bunch of roadblocks and get more frustrated. Sometimes it's easier to accept your circumstances and go with the flow, which is kind of what I'm doing now. A lot of times the answer comes when you stop resisting and allow things to unfold naturally. Really, it's a lesson in embracing uncertainty to gain wisdom. And I do think embracing uncertainty makes you a little bit wiser. You can't control everything. So especially those of us who are maybe a little anal retentive about our lives need to just let it go and to see what happens. And that's not a bad thing. Something else that's definitely not bad is my Beetlejuice countdown from the Little Wolf Knits. Today's color was called Welcome Home, and it was this beautiful like pinky brown gold colorway that I've been really drawn to lately. So I was really happy to open this up this morning and just kind of take a look at it for a bit. Next up, we have my Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers, and today I am super excited with what we got because we have entered the full-blown Whimsy phase. The pink aspect of this is the entire reason why I signed up to it. I was really excited to get a Halloween countdown that had a lot of colors in my standard palette while still being a little spooky, so I am really happy with this pink color. Weirdly, I don't think I mentioned this yesterday despite how exciting it is, but I did finish my Worst Witch scarf, which means I can start rolling my Beetlejuice yarn into balls and start the blanket that I have planned. So more exciting news. Because this is the week I'm forgetting everything, it seems, I remembered that I actually have blocking boards for granny squares. So I went ahead and I found that and started getting everything together to at least block the squares that I have, with more, knowing full well that there are more on the way, I suppose. And so far it's working really well. I'm really happy with the way that these are turning out now that they're blocked. I was concerned they wouldn't be big enough, and now I think they are. Now that my Worst Witch scarf is officially done, that means it's time for my least favorite part of the entire process, other than weaving in ends, I guess, which is blocking. So I always, unless it's too big, I always block my projects in just this big bowl that I have so I can keep it in the sink without having to do too much organization and cleaning. And then I found my other blocking boards and took this bad boy outside to hopefully block and dry faster. I don't think it really did, but I will say the blocking in general just helped, as it usually does, free up the lace. You know, it widened it, it made it more obvious. It helped the edging, the picot bind off, show up a lot more clearly and more obviously, and I think it looks really great. And I'm just happy this is done. It's really cute. I can wear it for the rest of the season once I eventually weave in the ends, and I think it was a really fun project to make as we run up to Halloween. All right, so I am here to talk about this amazing box from Wool and Women Fibers that I received yesterday. This is the year-long Murder She Knit crochet along. There is also a knitted kit, but I chose to do the crochet along just because whenever I'm doing it along, crocheting is always faster. So of course it is Murder She Wrote themed, which means I am really excited to crochet along while I'm watching old episodes of Murder She Wrote. Not that there are new ones, of course, but Murder She Wrote has always been one of my favorite series. I love Jessica Fletcher. I love what's her face, Angela Lansbury. She is near and dear to my heart. I grew up with her on this show, and I heard about this box and couldn't put it down. So like I said, it is a year-long crochet along, and it seems like we are solving a mystery. So we will be knitting. Yeah, we will be crocheting. Some people will be knitting the Northeasterly crochet pattern by Katie Stevens. So I'm looking forward to that. And every packet comes with a different mini of yarn that you open up on your way through. So we get our yarn, we get a tape measure, we get these tiny little hooks. I believe they're for picking up stitches in knitting, but can also be used in crocheting as well. Let me just double check there's nothing else in here. Oh, we also get some Bar Harbor tea, which, funny story, I was at this tea shop when we were in Maine, and I picked up some of their Christmas tea and some of their blueberry tea. And this is New England maple tea, which I am really excited for. We visited this lighthouse. It was fun. I almost fell off the rocks, but that's a story for another day. But I'm really looking forward to this. I believe the first pattern, yeah. So we're gonna crochet this mystery from October 25th, where we cast on, to November 25th. So we get a full month, and you can potentially win a prize. And there are some grand prizes at the end. So again, this is Wool and Women Fibers and Sam's Tiny Trinkets. It is, I don't know, it sounded really fun to me, and I love a good theme. Murder, She Wrote is one of my favorite shows, or was when I was growing up, and I just couldn't not subscribe to this. And I have always wanted to make the Northeasterly blanket, so I think it's going to be really fun, and it's going to work up fast, and it's something to entertain me throughout the year. So it's not something that I have to stress out about during while I'm working up my Halloween countdowns, and it's not something I have to stress out about working through my Advents. This is going to be a slower speed, and I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, you can find more information on their website. I think it's closed for pre-orders now. I'm not sure if they're going to be opening it up again, or if you had to. I imagine you would have had to subscribe for the full year ahead of time. But I wanted to show this off to you because I'm so excited about it. So I wanted to share. Now that I have my first Beetlejuice colorway wound into a ball, I can finally start on my blanket. So I was really looking forward to this for a very long time, because as much as I enjoyed working on my Worst Witch scarf, I have just been in the mood to crochet. You know, I'm already doing the alt knots crochet along, but I've made this blanket before, and it is very relaxing. It's very meditative, and I was just really excited. I keep saying the word excited, but I was really looking forward to getting this started. I have had I had the same issue this time that I had the last time I tried to make this, which is that for whatever reason, I just never have enough chains. I don't usually have that problem when I'm working with worsted yarn, so there's something about the way I'm counting with the fingering weight yarn and crocheting into the humps of the chains that is just not working out with the fingering weight yarn. But it's fine. I got there eventually, not without ripping it out at least once. But we're there, and we're having a blast. And that is all for today. I finished up my square and my cup of spirits for my Alt Knots crochet along, and that was it for me. I mean, we are already exhausted at this point in the week, so just thinking about doing anything else makes me want to go to sleep, which I did right after this. But yeah, thanks for joining me for another day, and I will see you tomorrow. I think realizing that my Halloween countdown only has 1-2 pretty much encapsulates everything that's going down for this week. So welcome to Hump Day, where at least I had yarn to open. That's my theme for the week. At least I have yarn to open every day. So today's Beetlejuice countdown was this very muted, sandy, kind of beachy color that I think is going to contrast very well with the other colors that we have opened, especially now that I'm seeing them as they pair together in the blanket that I've started crocheting. But of course, that's not all. We also have the Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers, where we are really leaning into the Whimsy Goth theme. There are more and more pinks. This is a little more on the peachy side, and I am loving the ability that I have to now add these to my blanket. My tarot draw for the day was another one that was super spot on. The Two of Swords, here depicted by a skull with a thread through its eyes. You know, that's kind of how I feel right now. Just sew my eyes shut. I don't care. So the Two of Swords in tarot symbolizes indecision, inner conflict, and the need for balance, which I am dying for right now. It depicts someone at a crossroads, blindfolded, hence the threads through the eyes, holding two swords in a defensive stance. So that's in the typical Rider-Waite deck, which again, this is not. This is the Stitcher's Tarot. This card appears when you're avoiding a difficult decision or suppressing emotions. Hi, hello, it's me. Preferring to stay in a state of inaction rather than face a tough truth. It highlights the tension between logic and emotion, and oh boy, am I feeling that. So the way that you would want to apply this to everyday life, other than the fact that I have literally commiserated with all of this so far, is that it encourages you to confront decisions head on, even if you feel uncertain or torn. It's a reminder that avoiding a choice won't make the situation better. Instead, if you want to move forward, you need to remove the blindfold, acknowledge your emotions, assess the facts, and make a clear, balanced decision, and trust that clarity comes through action. And honestly, you know, this couldn't be more spot on for me. I can't tell you how many times this week that I've told people that I work with that the only way out is through. And I think that is true. I mean, like I said, I don't really hold a lot of thoughts that these cards tell the future or that they're specifically insightful. But if you want to use it as a way to help you journal your thoughts, then that's exactly what this is doing. I heavily identify with this card right now, and it's kind of triggering me to think about how I want to approach these situations and reaffirming that, you know, what I've been saying about how the only way out is through is actually true. So it gives me a little added confidence that the way that I'm approaching situations is actually the right way. And honestly, that's about it for Wednesday. However, we did go to our friend's house. We are cat sitting for them, well, kitten sitting. I'm so excited there's a kitten. We're kitten sitting for them this weekend while they're at a wedding. So it gave us a chance to walk through our neighborhood and see some fun Halloween decorations, which was a really nice way to end a stressful day. So honestly, I couldn't have asked for more at this point. Hello, and happy Friday, Junior. I'm usually so excited when it's Thursdays, but I've just been dying for this week to be over, so it just seems like it's dragging on. On the bright side, as usual, I did have some gorgeous Beetlejuice yarn to open, and this colorway was called Everything Goes, and it's kind of a more deeper version of what we opened yesterday, but this also has hints of, I don't know, some more autumnal colors. It's kind of on the pinky side, but maybe like a brown, but really, really, really pretty. And again, going to coordinate very well with the other colors. But today's Whimsy Goth countdown is something that I'm super excited about. It's this very deep, I don't know if you'd call it like a gothic blue or if I just have the word gothic in my head, but that's what it is. Scott really enjoyed it too, and I think it's going to look phenomenal with all of the other colors in the Alt Knots blanket. I don't know what type of vibes I'm putting out into the universe, but today's card is the Hermit, which again is very reflective of how I'm feeling with my life right now. So in tarot, the Hermit represents introspection, solitude, and the search for inner wisdom. And it often appears when you're being called to withdraw from external distractions to reflect on your life's deeper meaning. So I do kind of feel like I'm hermiting myself. I don't really have that option because I have so much going on and I need to be out and about. But it's what I want to do. The Hermit holds a lantern, again in the Rider-Waite deck, symbolizing that the answers you seek are found within. It's a card of self-discovery, spiritual growth, and guidance through personal reflection. Now, if you want to apply this to your everyday life and figure out, what it means for you and how you want to interpret it, the Hermit invites you to take a break from the noise and spend time in quiet contemplation. Whether it's a period of solitude, meditation, or simply stepping back from the world, this card suggests that clarity and insight come from within. Again, this is telling me that, I hold the answers. I can't sit here and wait for the answers to come to me. I can sit and the answers I will have the answers on my own as long as I'm thinking about things the right way and continuing to seek that inner wisdom. So it's a reminder that sometimes you need to be alone to find your true path and purpose. Again, just really cutting out the noise. I don't need advice from other people right now. I need to take inventory of the information that I've already been given and just figure out what that means for me and how I want to apply it to me as a manager, me as a leader, me as a wife, and all the different roles in my life that I play. As if we are young and actually have energy anymore, we decided to go out on a school night and enjoy some trivia. So there is a new brewery by us that we have been frequenting lately, and they just launched a trivia night. So it's every other Thursday. We decided to go and kind of start making it a thing. Even though Scott works every other Thursday, so he'll always be running a little bit late, we can all meet up down there and look forward to a fun time. So tonight opened with 90s movie trivia, killed it, got worse from there, and I forget where we came. I think our team came in like smack dab in the middle. So our team name was called, I thought this was speed dating, which I chat GPT'd the idea for because we were feeling particularly unoriginal tonight. But yeah, we had a really good time. We enjoyed it there. They have amazing pizza. So if you ever see me posting like these really thick pizzas with tons of cheese and meats on it, that's from this place, and it's great. So it was nice to get out during the week, to be honest, and looking forward to doing it again. We were able to cap off the evening with seeing the northern lights around us. Obviously, we couldn't see them with our bare eyes. I did have to use night mode on my phone, but it was still pretty cool and a fun way to end the night and kick off our Friday. TGIF. I know I say this every week. I'm pretty sure I say it every week. But as you could probably tell at this point, I was particularly excited for this specific week to be over. Not that next week will be any better, but hey, at least I got a slight reprieve. I did start my day with some comfort crocheting on my Beetlejuice blanket. I am super behind on this because I had been working on my Worst Witch scarf for a majority of the beginning of October so far. And I am working on getting pictures of that. I think I'll be able to grab some this weekend when I make myself look presentable for our wedding anniversary photos that we're planning to take. But for now, I am just working on getting caught up with this Beetlejuice blanket. It looks so good so far. You can't really tell in the video, but even just sitting here in front of me, it looks so cozy and so crochet-y. I don't know what it is about crocheting, but there is just something that's more comforting about it than knitting for me, even though knitting is my preferred craft. This time of year really gets really piques my interest for crocheting, and I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe it's because I used to do craft fairs, craft shows, at various churches, venues, things like that. And that's when that kicks off this season. So here I am just enjoying my morning before all hell broke loose, as it does. I think now that I'm actually working on my Beetlejuice crocheted blanket, I am even more excited to open this countdown every single day. And today's color certainly did not disappoint. I can't wait to get to it in the blanket. These are not my typical colors, but I really love the way that they go together and how it's just this beautiful green and orange, and I don't know, it just looks so good. That said, my Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers was equally as exciting, potentially even more, because oh my goodness, this is my favorite color so far. Like I keep saying, we're really leaning into the pinks now, and this is one of my favorite shades of pink. If this doesn't scream Jen and Halloween, then I don't know what does. To round out the work week, today we pulled the Page of Pentacles, which in tarot symbolizes new beginnings, ambition, and a focus on learning, especially in the areas of work, finances, or practical skills. Often it'll represent someone who is curious and eager to grow, which I feel I am, thank you very much, with a strong desire to turn ideas into reality. The page is grounded, detail-oriented, and ready to invest the time and effort to build something lasting. So if I want to take a look at this card and apply it to my life and the things that I'm doing, I would look at this as the page encouraging me to embrace a mindset of learning and take tangible steps toward my goals. So whether that's starting a new project, studying something new, or working on personal development, this card is a reminder that success comes through dedication and careful planning. Stay open to opportunities and keep your eyes on long-term growth. And I do think that's me. I'm continually learning. I am continually trying to improve how I approach situations in my life and how I do work. I used to be an independent contributor for a number of years, and I've been a manager before, but not at this level. So it's something new to me, and I'm constantly trying to figure out what that looks like for me and who I am as a manager, who I am as a leader. The last thing I want to do is be a tyrant, because that is super prevalent. But sometimes you still got to get work done and you still got to be firm. So I took this as a good card, and we'll see how I can apply it to my learnings. After work, we headed to our friend's house to feed their kitten. So as promised, here are some videos of their new little void. Are you just eating where you're not supposed to be eating? And we don't set boundaries?
Scott doesn't care.
Yeah, that sounds right.
You like the spoon?
Yeah. Nom nom. After our fun playtime with Binks, we both just wanted to head home and relax for the rest of our Friday night. Scott had been at the new house all day, spackling walls, and we were just both exhausted. So we have started a new applique for the Alt Knots crochet along, which is using our Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers. And so I had to watch Kayla's video to figure out what it is that we were doing. So previously, we were making our cup of spirits, which is a little ghost escaping a cup, and now we're working on a planchet, which is actually really cute and really, really simple. I'm hoping I can memorize this pattern really quick. I did make a few alterations to it just to make the top of the planchet pointier and make the round parts on the bottom even rounder. And I think they came out really great, and I'm excited for the next 10 days of this new applique and seeing what our next one is soon. At last, it is Saturday, but oh boy, was there a lot to do. And when I woke up, I didn't feel like there was a lot to do until I actually started doing it, and then things took a turn. It's sad to say, but at this point, doing my advents is starting to feel like a chore, as exciting as it is, but it's something that I need to cross off my list every day. The good news is that the yarn is beautiful. So this was my Beetlejuice Advent. Really love the colors here, really screaming autumn. And then of course we have my Whimsy Goth countdown from Fangirl Fibers, which today was a peachy color. Very fleshy, very in tune with a lot of the pinks that we have been continuing to open. So I've really been enjoying all of the pinks coming our way. Today's tarot draw was the Three of Pentacles, which does seem appropriate given the fact that I'm heading over to the new house to get a lot of work done with Scott and figure out what we want to do about certain things. But ultimately, I think this is more applicable to my day job, which kind of sucks for a Saturday draw, but here we are. The Three of Pentacles represents collaboration, teamwork, and successful implementation of skills. So it highlights the importance of combining individual talents to create something greater than what could be achieved alone. This card often appears when your efforts are being recognized or when you're working with others toward a common goal, especially in projects, business, or learning environments. I mean, I guess we could consider the new house a project, if you will. But in everyday life, the Three of Pentacles encourages you to value cooperation and seek support from others. It's a reminder that working together, whether it's with colleagues, friends, or mentors, can lead to better outcomes than going solo. Focus on clear communication, sharing ideas, and recognizing each person's strengths to achieve success. And I think especially when you are buying a new house, when you're getting all of that stuff together, working on those new home projects, but also at work when you're managing a team and collaborating with your peers, and at the end of the day, just trying to GSD. It does require a lot of collaboration, and sometimes that can be frustrating. I personally feel like half the time I speak and nobody listens to me. So take that for what you will as a woman in the tech industry, but here we are, and this was ultimately a positive card for me. On my way to the new house, I of course had to stop and feed our little friend Binks, who, as I mentioned, we are cat sitting while our friends are away for the weekend. And she and I had a great time together. We played a game on my phone by, I can't remember if it's Friskies or something like that, where she has to chase fish. Wasn't a fan of the visuals, loved the sounds, but at the end of the day, we are now best friends, and we're not telling Scott.
Basement.
Well, yes. No, show us what we're doing. What are we doing? Show us your spackling.
Oh, no, definitely not that. Spackling. It's horrible.
Wait, so what is spackling? You just cover the holes?
Yeah, you cover the holes, you cover the seams.
I'm not handy. I'm an indoor girl.
Stop rubbing on it.
Trixie, are you rubbing on the spackle?
Don't rub on the spackle.
Why are you rubbing on the spackle?
Yeah, cover up the holes so you can't see the holes. Cover up all the long strips or the joints. And that terrible thing there is the corner that I don't know how to do the corner.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to run out and get a corner tool because I think it's going to make my life.
Are we going to need more paint?
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't account for this much.
Yeah, I didn't either. Couch is still in disarray.
I back up because I was sanding.
The bar is looking good.
The bar's looking good.
I was wondering where I wanted to bring that over.
Yeah, it's not where it's gonna live, but
yeah, it'll go on the dining room table for the party, but we could keep it down here. I have a thing for my nanny that'll go over there, I guess.
Yeah.
Cabinet.
And then we're gonna get a second cabinet.
Games.
We have that much glassware.
We have so much glassware.
Oh, I have all the wine glassware upstairs.
And then we have.
We didn't show this?
We didn't last time, no. So.
Wash and dryer are gonna go there.
Where are the sinks going? Or the sink is going here?
Go here.
Okay.
It's gonna be a tight fit. We're gonna build up a little thing in the corner, maybe for like a trash can for the lid.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna scooch that as far as we can scooch that, and then put this in. It should fit.
Massive storage area back there yet. I kind of hinted at the workshop, but didn't go through the workshop. No, I just skimmed over it because I was tired. Still am tired, to be clear. We think this was like a coal storage.
Oh no, it definitely was.
At one point?
They pop the thing open, they throw a chute down, they just shove coal down. It's the coal cellar.
This is where we store Christmas and Halloween now, though.
That's what our stuff definitely wants me to turn that into an electric powered workshop.
I mean, Do you need more than this? I guess you do, because
Well,
you have,
but the table saw,
between the two of you, you
the
have
table
big.
saw is coming down. The miter saw is going to come in. The drill press and the belt sander are back there already.
Yeah.
So he wants to put all that stuff back there.
That door new? I guess that door's new, huh?
The door, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
The wall that we built.
But yeah.
Just the door has always been there.
I don't know.
I
don't know if you just found it in the deep recesses of this. Here comes the carpet. Are you excited to lay this thing down?
Why?
I don't know.
So you be excited? It's your room.
Yeah. I don't know what to expect.
Carpet.
Sure.
Solid. Nice.
Yeah. What do you think, doggos? For me to poop on? Looks good. With glitter wall that ripped all the paint off. Yay. Oh, Ziggy likes it. Ziggy approved craft room.
All right.
What do you think?
Looks like a rug. Looks like it goes with your pink.
Looks like the dogs are happy.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So this is very much not the final product, but I wanted to see what the new cabinet was going to look like. There are going to be more cabinets. I have other shelving at home that's going to go over there. And I have a pegboard that's going to go on the glitter wall from hell. And then we'll see. I think I'm going to be able to fit a lot on this. So we should be in good shape, but we'll know soon enough. I just figured I would start taking out all my yarn and see what it looks like. I'm planning to have, you know, shelves dedicated to specific dyers. So here's Ruby and Roses, here's Moon Glow. I have a Christmas basket, that's where that's gonna go. But some of them are mixed up too, just because that is the way of things. And I'm gonna leave them in plastic bags because I do have a moth issue at the other house. So I'm putting all of my yarn in bags and suffocating them to death. Happy Halloween. You look confused. More carpet fun times? Or are you just figuring out what all the furniture is? You have to be able to put it down. Oh, great. You know what we're gonna do, Papa? We're gonna be in the way. And Fritzy's gonna get stuck under the table. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
He does like it under.
Mm-hmm. Wait. For now, what incense are we about to light, my love?
Samhain.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And what is it? A macabre?
It's a macabre blend
of
frankincense, spiced herbs, and mulled cider.
Right.
Samhain. Macabre.
Mm-hmm. It's cookie time. Oh, there's a little doggy on it. I didn't even see that before. Yeah. That's cute. Are we all excited? Fritzy something. Fritzy, proof of life. Snap, snap. This is just like Advent treats all over again. Right, Papa?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
We don't have TV to swallow.
And too big for you? You mommy's help? What are you doing down there?
Little vacuum?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Little vacuum.
Oh, yeah. Well, we are in Boxageddon.
No, not so much anymore.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. But I got my teal pumpkins, so now it's not as orange up here in the library, thankfully. Our record player finally came. So that's exciting. I got the windows all Halloweened. Scott claims that he's going to put a nail in the windows so you can't see the painter's tape. So we'll see what happens. We will wait patiently. Oh, and I added a cobweb underneath my decorations to make it spooky. So, getting there. After a long day of chores and getting things ready over at the new house, it was time to come back to the old house and order out. We weren't planning on doing that. Scott had purchased some brats that he wanted to cook, but we were both just really tired and wanted to watch a Halloween movie. So We ordered out, we got Thai food, and we watched the new Salem's Lot. So, full disclosure, I have never seen the original movie. We were going to watch it after we watched this, but when we looked it up, it was 3 hours long. So we were like, yeah, not today. Not today, Satan, literally. With that, it's another week in the books. We're another week closer to the big day, Halloween, and I'm looking forward to, well, I shouldn't say I'm looking forward to kicking off another week because, oh man, that requires me to go back to work. But in general, I am enjoying as much as I can of the Halloween season and looking forward to getting into the new house before all is said and done. So I will see you next week for another recap of this next week's Vlogtober. I hope you enjoy what you've been watching. If you do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye!